Yo, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the old C10 here. It's not getting parked for the winter yet. It's just the XJ's been up here way too long. I've been getting that thing squared away so I can daily it this winter, but everything's done now, just needs an oil change. Might get into that later, but the square body here, I plan on driving as long as I can till snow starts flying and they put salt on the roads. Then we'll park it for the winter, and I got some big projects planned, but it needs a few small things today. And real quick with the Vet, the 99 C5, the next project on that is going to be swapping the cylinder heads out to kind of complete the bolt-on trifecta, that being heads, cam, and long tube headers. Got all the parts over here, well, almost all the parts. This is everything except for the heads themselves. And then once we have the new heads on, we're gonna get this thing dyno tuned. It's still on the mail order tune from when I did the cam. Gonna dyno tune it this time, really dial that thing in, and mix some power. And then all the engine parts up here on the table. This is that AMC 304 that came out of the CJ. That project's been on the back burner for a long time, but we're bringing it back around. All this needs to go to a machine shop, but we'll talk about that in a different video. Let's dive on into the square body. The truck's still running great and everything like that, but we don't have any heat. And this is coming straight from the top. Courtney needs heat, and little Courtney needs heat. And I like some heat. You know, it's nice when it's getting cold out, which it is. It actually does throw off some heat. We found that out in the summertime when our legs were getting ridiculously hot. So I think that's just from the engine radiating heat. But now that it's actually getting cold out and we want some heat, the heat's not sticking around. Things like these wing windows are not helping at all. I think it all just goes right out. But as far as actual climate control, blower fan, nothing. When you switch the different levels, nothing. I don't know if it's the I don't know if it's the HVAC controls itself that's the problem. We're gonna tear into the dash, get it all out. We're gonna test the blower motor, make sure that's working. And I know for a fact, since I'm the one that cobbled this interior together, that none of the ducting is hooked up to any of these vents. I have most of the ducting pieces, I think. I don't know. We're gonna have to tear into there, see what we need, make a list, order some stuff in, get this thing blowing heat again. Other things to look into: the radio. It'll come on in the run position, but as soon as you start the truck, goodbye, it turns off. I don't know why. Another thing, windshield wipers. They're done putting in the quit. I mean, not walk out quit, but definitely putting in their 2 weeks notice. I'm gonna work on getting the bezel out here, along with all the trim. And then maybe get the dashboard out of here too, just so we can get a good look at everything. I think I'm starting to get some answers. I got the HVAC pulled out here, and here's all your vacuum connections. When you fire up the truck, there's no vacuum present whatsoever. So this controller might not be bad, but since that knob broke off, I think I'm gonna get a new one of these anyway. For the vacuum issue, I got the hood popped here, and I was trying to find where the vacuum goes in, and I'm not certain, but I think the vacuum goes in right here. Goes through this hose, which is this hose, and it's not connected to anything. Another thing I noticed while I was under here is this vacuum canister has a hose, and I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't go to anything either. The previous owner dropped a crate motor in it, and who knows what was hooked up and what wasn't, so there's a lot of not factory stuff going on in here. I'm gonna dig into this a little bit, see if I can figure anything out, and I'll let you know. Well, never mind, I found out where that hose goes. Going under. Right there's that hose. I traced it back from the firewall, and then it goes to this like plunger thing on the brake pedal. I have no idea why a rubber hose would need to go to that. I have no idea. There's the vacuum lines, that blue and black right there. Some of the vacuum lines that go up to the climate control, and then they kind of just disappear into this box. I'm gonna have to look up a diagram of vacuum on a square body to find out where it's supposed to go into the cab, because I don't really see anything. Not too sure. I got some more things figured out. Like, I think that is for cruise control and not really related to heat. My truck also had AC. I'm not sure where the vacuum goes into this, but I'm gonna have to keep looking into it. I told my sister I'd help her with her brakes on her truck today, and she's here. I'm gonna have to get the vet out of here so she can back her truck in, and then we'll get back to square body stuff. All right, we got her brakes squared away. Back to this mess. I've actually been looking around here for the last few minutes and looking some stuff up, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna have to do some research, crack a book maybe, see if I can find something for this 85, because I'm not seeing anything that's like sticking out to me. Some things I don't think I mentioned. On the climate control here, this cable is supposed to be bolted in right here by the looks of it, and every time you move this, it's supposed to stretch that cable out or push it in to change the different positions. But since the cable's not attached, moving that does nothing. So that's just another reason to get a new controller. Other things. In previous C10 videos, I mentioned not having working oil pressure or temp gauges. And after I seen the condition of this circuit board thing, like all these leads, flimsy, and not to mention the plug itself was not very, it was actually crooked in here. So that kind of explains that. So I think I'm gonna get a new circuit board piece. LMC has them. So I'm gonna call it a day down here. I'm gonna do some research, see what I can come up with, and we'll try again tomorrow. All right, I'm back. For those of you who knew right where it was the whole time, you can stop yelling at the screen. I found it. It's right here. Right beside the air conditioning box, there's this grommet that goes into the firewall, and sure enough, there's a little plastic vacuum line snipped off right there. So we're gonna get something hooked up. On the Edelbrock carb here, we have full manifold vacuum right here, and we're gonna want that so we have vacuum at idle. Let me see if I can find a vacuum line. Probably just have to come over here to the CJ parts table and grab the one off the vacuum advance off the distributor here. Come on. Hope that's long enough. I might have some more laying around, I don't know. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna cut it. Let me see what I can figure out. Found a T-fitting, capped the T, and then just threw an old zip tie on there. Keep it on there tight for now. If this works, I'll route it up nicer and fix that. But that's if it works. Let's head inside and fire it up, see what we got. I hear it. Yep, it's pulling vacuum now. Sweet. Now, what I want to try and do is hook this back up, get that cable bolted up that I was talking about, and see if all of our doors open up when we change our different levels here. Found a screw to stick in there. It's a little bit long, but it'll work. What I didn't realize was that cable is for the hot and cold lever down here. Flipping up the different positions here just spins that wheel on the vacuum port. Yeah, I don't hear much happening. I kind of got it to stop leaking, but I don't hear anything happening underneath. Pulled this one off of this actuator, and I can feel the vacuum pressure. Pretty weak, but plug it back in. How'd you hear that? I think I heard a door open. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can definitely hear a door opening or something going on in the box. So that's a good sign. All right. I'm getting fumed out. I need to open up a door. So I think we have enough vacuum pressure to open up the actuators. It's just not loud enough when the truck's running to hear the door actually opening and closing. So I think we got this pretty well figured out. Last thing to do is just see if the cable driven door, if we can hear that. Poke under here and move the cable around. It's doing something. If I slam it closed, I can hear it. Cool. So I think that's good too. Now let's head up front and see if we can figure out the blower motor situation. You can find your blower motor up here on the passenger side firewall right here. Looks like it's grounded at the top here, and then just one power wire coming in, and that is definitely secure. So what we can do, I went ahead and put both of our plugs back into our controller. We're gonna need to turn the key on, have power, and nothing. Now what I'm gonna do to verify we have power up to the blower motor, pull off this connection, and then we're just simply gonna hook up a test light from here to the negative on the battery, and when we hit the fan switch, we should light up. Test light hooked up. Same thing, we're just gonna turn on the key, turn on the fan. Let's have a look. So it's lit up, as you can see. So that means we have power up to the blower motor. And as I suspected, we're just gonna have to replace the blower motor, which honestly I'm fine with. If that test light didn't light up and I had to keep tracing back electrical problems, that'd be a nightmare. So I'm glad it's a simple fix. I think I found the radio issue without hardly even trying. This is the ground wire, and it was in that loom there, and it just pulled out like nothing. So I think that's probably the issue. I'm gonna reattach this and we'll see what we come up with. Got it wired up with a heat shrink connector this time. I don't know why I use these crappy ones to begin with, but plug back in. Let's give it a shot. Hello? Hello? Is nothing working now? Hold up. I don't know what was going on. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and now it came on with the key, so let's fire it up, see what happens. Still doing it. I think the issue lies with our 12-volt switched power. I unplugged the harness out of the back of the radio. Key's off, and then put the key on. The light comes on. Let me see if I can do this. And then I'll go to turn it on. And I'm not sure if the intermittency there is what's giving us the issue. But it's weird because it comes back on right away. We still have 12-volt switched and 12-volt constant. So I have no idea what's going on. I wonder what happens when I plug in the radio while it's running, since I know it has power. Well, there it came on. The question is, can we get it to keep doing that? What a stupid thing. Okay, now that I verified that the 12-volt switched has power after the truck is started, maybe she just needs a minute. So we'll test it. We'll wait for it to come on. There it goes, radio. Then it'll say goodbye. Well, that time, what is going on? Radio, turn it on. Okay, there it says goodbye. So that's that 12-volt switch turning off then back on. But I wonder if we just wait. Yeah. Came back around. All right, good enough. It's just, I don't know. I don't really remember it doing that before, but maybe it did. I don't know. Oh well, it's kind of fixed. Good enough for me. All right, one last thing here. I broke off the bottom plastic piece there below the bumper. I'm gonna take that off, and then I'm gonna decide if I like how it looks, and maybe I won't order another one. But I did like how it looked down there. I kind of dig how it looks without. I think I'll run it like this for now, and then if I really have some money burning a hole in my pocket, I'll get another one. Probably not. That'll work. I think we pretty much covered everything I wanted to. I got a pretty good list going here. I was able to find my box of ducting and stuff. I think it's all here. These pieces are for the back of the dashboard. I think you only need one of them. And then the bezel, I don't even remember doing this, but I put that one on there. So I think it's pretty complete. So I have to get these parts ordered, then we have to wait for them, and then we can throw them on. So with that being said, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.